Hello, disruptors, again, and welcome back to another transformational episode of Mindset Mastery Moments, the top 1% podcast globally, where we don't just talk about mindset, we disrupt it. I'm your host, of course, Dr. Alisa Whyte, number one mindset disruptor, global workforce business strategist. Now, let me ask you something. What if the missing link between you and your next breakthrough wasn't just your mindset? Don't get me wrong, it's a big deal. But what about emotional resilience? Today's guest is here all the way from Australia, Sydney, Australia, beautiful Sydney, Australia, to help us connect the dots. I am thrilled to welcome the incredible Deborah Tyson. She is a visionary, well-being advocate, internationally recognized speaker, and the founder of, you see it right behind her if you're watching video, Blisspot, a global community transforming how we approach self-care, personal growth, and emotional mastery. Yes, emotional mastery. Deborah is not only a leader in emotional resilience and holistic well-being, but she is also an award-winning entrepreneur. So she's all about the business too. So entrepreneurs, tune in. She's founded 3 successful companies, including Brave Design Group and eSmart Food, and has been honored with the Australian Capital Territory Businesswoman of the Year Award and the Chief Minister's Award for Innovation. Well, she's a very humble lady. You'll get to meet her here. Her insights have been featured on platforms like The Mel Robinson Show, The Handel Show, and her mission is so simple, and that's what I loved about getting to meet her, is to help you live with greater ease, freedom, and fulfillment. Deborah, I can't say enough about what you have done in the world already. We are tuned and tickled pink to learn from you. Welcome to Mindset Mastery Moments. I'm so honored to have you today with us.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Alisa. What an incredible introduction. I am equally as delighted to be here and talk with you. I know you do such life-changing work out there on the planet, so I'm just so glad for the opportunity and to be part of it and to chat with you today.
Deborah, it's my honor. No, not by any means. I get to sit and learn from what I call a guru. And I know you probably wouldn't like me calling you a guru, but listen, you're a guru at what you were created to do. Anyone who decides that what they're put on this earth to do and they do it without any limitations on themselves, they have become a guru. So we're here to learn from you. So Deborah, let's kick it off. Let's start right from the core. Tell us who you are in your own words, what you do, and why you do it.
Well, I am the founder of Blisspot. I'm the founder and CEO of Blisspot, which is a company that really helps people with their personal growth, their inner transformation, because I believe as humans, we don't consciously struggle or get ourselves in difficult situations or want to be stressed or overwhelmed. But the reason why is because we haven't discovered yet a different way. Mm-hmm. So Blisspot, it's people want to have a great life. Everybody wants to be happy and to tap in, to feel wise, to be able to communicate and to connect with people. At our essence, humans really do want pretty much the same things. It's, to be loved, to connect, to be able to be heard, to be seen. And also to be there for others. Like generally at our core, we love to help and facilitate. But it's very common that we get lost along the way, and stress is the world's leading disability right now, and we know that has a massive, that's according to the World Health Organization, that has a massive flow-on impact or effect to the way we feel every day. If we're stressed, we're not being our best selves. We often are disconnected from our inner wisdom. We don't connect with others in the way that we would like, and this does all come back to our mindset mastery. That is really important. But I think what I learned quite a few years ago is that our mind and our emotions are the same. There is one. Exactly the same thing.
What is it? 2 cords of the same rope or something? Is that what it is? I don't know.
Yeah, because what we think impacts how we feel.
And what we feel impacts how
we think. Exactly right. It's like our mind and our body are as one too. People often maybe don't even realize that, but how our mind is set up, how we think and how we feel impacts our body. It impacts our chemistry, whether we're stuck in disease or illness. And not saying that I'm greatly empathetic when people do have disease and illness, but our mind is a wonderful tool that we can have control over. And I'm not saying it's, the concepts are actually quite simple in how we do this, but it's often not easy. We have to practice it, and we're working with ourselves. My yoga teacher said to me once about 20 years ago that the journey from the head to the heart is 12 inches, but it's the most difficult journey you will ever go on.
Wow,
and I actually think that's right, but it's the most rewarding, because when we learn to work with our mind, which again gives us that emotional mastery, we are not being controlled by our mind, but we're steering our own ship. We're setting the course for our life rather than having our unconscious mind set the course of our life for us. So, sorry, I got a bit distracted there with all the one thing.
Stuff.
Led to the other, but for that reason, I founded Blisspot, and this was 8 years ago. So we've been going for quite a while now. Well before the pandemic, I could see that people were struggling. It doesn't matter how financially affluent they are. That obviously make life easier for sure when you've got the money to get you out of survival and to be able to support yourself in a way that you would like. That is extremely important. But on top of that, I could see no matter of your demographic, how old you were, if your mind is in control, you can be stressed, overwhelmed, not connecting with the people you love. And so I felt that this was about education, about giving people those skills, because nobody wants to be stressed and overwhelmed, so that they can take back control, learn to work with their mind. I call it making your mind your friend, which in turn gives you that beautiful emotional mastery, because it comes down to being able to respond in situations rather than react. Because when we react to a situation, it takes us away from our personal empowerment. We often, when we're reactive, and we've all done it and probably will all continue to do it,
right?
Because we're human beings, but it's like a skill. It's like learning to get fit, or learning, to be a wonderful musician, or whatever skill it is. You can also learn to master your mind and your emotions, so that you think over time, you think, wow, I handled that a lot better than I would have maybe 10 years ago. 3 years ago. Yeah, I've evolved as a person. I feel that no longer triggers me anymore, because I've done the work. I've worked through it. I've learned to observe myself rather than get all wrapped up in it, and be able to be calm and steady.
Yes.
And I was quite surprised to learn years ago again that the definition of guru is being heavy. I thought, that really that was actually pretty disappointing, like heavy, like a rock almost. And I thought, that's weird. I thought a guru who was somebody who was wise, who'd learned a lot of things.
Yeah.
But in this definition, and I'm sure there are lots of different definitions which are equally as valid, but the person was saying that a guru is somebody who is able to stay calm and stay stable while everything around them might be in chaos, or people might be reacting. They can hold that space. And
that's
to do, but it's a journey as well.
Yes.
It's definitely a journey to be less reactive, more calm, more stable, more aware of your intuition, having the confidence to speak and act on your intuition, those kinds of concepts. So I decided to start Blisspot to share those skills, but I thought, even though the area of expertise that I love to speak in is emotional mastery and emotional resilience, because I believe that when we're really emotions are fantastic because they're giving us emotions about ourselves, but when they lead us to acting out in ways that we later regret. It can be very destabilizing, not only for us, but also the people around us. We can really hurt people or say things we don't mean, or we can withdraw when we're in, because we're usually either in fight or flight. So we will, or even freeze, where we will withdraw from a situation that's so disempowering because we don't get to say what we wanted to say in that situation and connect.
Exactly.
But I thought, even though that was my area that I love to speak and teach people about, what I felt was this was much bigger than just me. It was a community of like-minded experts from all over the world who contribute their ideas to help people on their journey, to help them on their personal growth journey. So that's how Blisspot came together.
I love it. Such precise intention. I love when I meet people who have been so clear about what they're doing and why they're doing it, and which ultimately clearly defines the how. So, Deborah, let's dive into the core of emotional resilience, which is your honey spot.
Yes, that's it.
It really is such a powerful term, and I believe there's so many ways that people define it. I also think there's so many ways that it's very misunderstood. So,
For
how do
sure.
you define it? And why do you say in your work that it is the foundation of personal transformation?
Well, I've touched on it. That's a
Yes.
fantastic question. I've touched on it a little bit already. The reason why I think we're all put on this planet to do amazing things. We all have our own gifts and talents in our own ways. And it doesn't really matter what it is. It needs all of us to make the world go round. And if you're getting up every day, you're excited to go to work, and you meet so many incredible nurses, people building roads, motivational speakers. It doesn't matter really who they are, but if you've got that joy and that's what you want to do, life can be fantastic. Like, the world is a really, really beautiful place. But if you're getting up every day and you're struggling and you're finding things difficult, often people will even feel like that before they even get out of bed, let alone when they engage in life. And admittedly, life can also be really challenging. People are born into different circumstances. And so life can also be really hard. And in a way, we don't even know what's going to around the corner. That's something we cannot control. But the only thing we can really control is ourselves and how we get through it. So I talk a lot about bliss, but life's challenges are actually also part of the bliss, if that makes sense, and how we get through it. Because when we have a challenging time, and I've had many in my life, if I've got through that challenge well, or at the end of it, even if it wasn't perfect and it was a bit messy, but I've got through it as best as I could, and I've learned and I've grown and I've changed and evolved, it actually makes you feel good. It helps with your self-esteem. And so sometimes the bliss can actually just be getting out of bed and getting through the day. If you're having a really hard time, and just learning a little something new that will help you on your journey or support you on your journey. And it might even be reaching out to somebody. That might be the bliss, that you took that step to get that support that you needed, or you've been able to dig deep or find out what you really need to do. So it's not about being happy all the time or aligned all the time, but it's about having the skills that when we're off our path, and if we're discontent or unhappy, there's signs that we maybe need to address something or do something differently, or even maybe what we just need to do if we're really deeply unhappy or we feel very unsettled or triggered. We might need to just sit in meditation for 20 minutes and just breathe. When you just breathe in meditation, you will get so many insights about yourself, and they're the truth, because it's not your ego telling you or trying to work it out or trying to analyze it. Your mind can catastrophize things. It loves to mental loop, loves it. Negative thinking, somebody told me once, can be very addictive. And I think that is
Oh,
true.
oh
That's why people get addicted to bad news. They can't wait to see what happens next, or gossip, those kinds of things. So, but it really doesn't make you feel good, and it keeps you stuck as well.
yes.
Negative thinking really keeps you stuck in that situation. And so we all probably tend to negative think from
Right.
time to time, but it's a matter of having the skills to be aware of that and really listening to our body and what our body is telling us.
Right.
And then if we're feeling very unsettled or very triggered, your body is telling you something. It's so strong, but often we don't take notice of those signals or signs. It's quite
Right.
common that when people don't feel good, they will emotionally, they will gossip about it to a friend. And talking to friends can be the best thing ever if they're holding a space for you, listening to you, reflecting back to you, and you go away feeling better. But if you're just talking around in circles, that's probably not that helpful. And you go away and you don't feel better
Feel way
after
better. Feel
that type
worse.
of, yeah, that's right. You feel worse because it's just feeding that negativity. Very different to being in that safe space where you talk and you get insights and you go, oh, yes, I know what I can do next. I know why I'm feeling that way. So really listening to our body and what it's telling us. And one of the most powerful skills in emotional mastery is accepting yourself where you are at right in the moment. So it's not positively thinking it away. It's not dismissing it. It's not minimizing your feelings. So say if you feel really desperate about getting a new job, or really desperate about money, your financial situation, the best thing you can possibly do is just absolutely accept that that's how you feel in the moment,
Yes.
then to actually sit with that feeling and breathe into it. And the more you get to know yourself, the more you evolve with your emotional mastery skills, you will start to identify patterns, like when you're sitting with yourself. So you might feel like, oh, actually, that pattern relates to me feeling desperate when I was young for various situations from your family of
Yes.
origin.
Yes.
So when you're in meditation, you can see these things, especially if you're just really focusing on your breathing and letting the insights bubble up, because they really will. Your body's very powerful in giving you information about yourself when you're very clear. And it's such a beautiful process because it's the truth. And then you'll be able to see, oh, well, that I actually did feel very desperate about money before I was 5 or in my family situation. But then you will probably get the insight that you're not in that situation. You're an adult now. There's something that you can do to change that situation or to make things better. And once you're sort of aligned with that and you've sort of taken back your empowerment, you're not being disabled by an old pattern that no longer belongs to you. Often in meditation, by sitting with it and breathing into it, getting the awareness and the consciousness is enough to change that pattern, or you will have let go that old energy, which was very destabilizing, and you're able to step forward in a new and different way because you have that awareness, whereas before it was unconscious, making you feel destabilized, if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. Wow, I was thinking that was so powerful. I'm thinking about what you said is not judging yourself. That has been a practice that I have been evolving and becoming better at. And I, even in my earlier phases, every chance I get, I invite someone to release judgment of their feelings, even if
Mm.
they're like, "Oh, I know I'm being negative right now." I'm like, let's pause for a second. I want you to, you're feeling a certain way, and you have me to listen and hear you, and I'm doing that without judgment. Can you try this? I invite you to try. How about we just go over how you feel right now, and you just be okay with that, so you can hear yourself. Because
No,
again,
I love
we
that.
don't hear ourselves. We don't even let ourselves. be angry. Even though we're going to be acting out of anger, we still are judging ourselves the whole time. So we don't get to really experience it. One thing I've learned is to feel it and it at 100, and so that I can release.
I
Because if
love
I
that.
just do little blocks of it, that
Mm.
takes on the negativity for hours, sometimes days, months, years. So with that consciousness of so angry right now, can't stand when that happens. And I now, because I'm allowing myself, I can hear myself. And I'm like, well, what are you angry for? You don't control traffic.
I love that. It's so true, Dr. Alisa. I think that people don't even validate their own feelings, and we don't feel a reason. We don't feel that way for no reason.
Right.
Whether it's letting go of a past event, a past trigger, or whether it's the current situation. And I believe that women, this is very general, a generalization, but generally speaking, are trained out of being
Yes.
angry. They have to be nice all
They
the
have to be
time,
nice and passive and
sweet,
agreeable.
agreeable. Exactly.
Yeah.
And men have been trained out of being sad. You know,
Okay,
don't
what I have to say.
cry.
I'm not going to do that. So, yeah.
Yeah. And our feelings, we don't necessarily want to act out on our
Right.
feelings.
Right.
We don't necessarily want to go and yell at our boss in the full flight of our anger,
Exactly.
but we might want to beat a pillow at home or really express and acknowledge
Yeah.
how angry we feel.
Right.
And then we can go and talk about it in our empowered self. So feelings are always giving you information about yourself.
Yes.
But it's so common that we shop it away, drink, smoke, gossip, watch
Swipe.
TV
Yeah.
endlessly, do anything
Anything
but
but feel.
acknowledge our feelings. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. And we're trained and programmed when people tell kids, that's okay, you're all right, you'll be fine. Right now, I don't want to hear that because I'm not fine.
Yeah, that's right. And you
Question is,
feel,
how am I feeling right now? Okay, I can see that you may be angry. Are you feeling angry? What's going on? So they can talk about it. And just to dig a little deeper, I shared the example of me being angry in traffic and listening and observing myself and saying, okay, why are you so angry? What is it that you're feeling? The reason I'm angry is not because there's traffic. You know what I'm angry? I'm mad at myself because I did not allow myself to prepare very well enough to be on time. I know
yeah,
the
yeah,
traffic. We do
yeah.
this every day.
That's
So
right.
the true frustration is with the fact that I had not prepared myself. So because I'm allowing myself to feel and investigate why I feel what I feel, according to what you said, Deborah, now I'm able to bring solution. You
So
said something
powerful
so important that our emotions are giving us messages
all the time,
all the
constantly.
time. And I love that. So here's the thing. I know many of our audience are navigating stress and burnout, self-doubt. What are some daily practices that you haven't already given us? Because you definitely give us a few already with doing meditation.
Yes.
Teach people
Well,
to rewire that negative thinking and just strengthen that mindset muscle.
I would love to talk about that because I'm
Yeah,
really passionate about the solutions as well. But I just want to build on what you just said because I thought it was
absolutely.
also extreme. Like you took your power back in that moment because you got to the root cause and then you can have a plan to do it differently next time. So that's extremely powerful. But with children, it's very common that their well-meaning guardians and adults have not validated their feelings. And even the best parent in the world cannot exactly validate
All the
somebody,
time.
their child's feelings all the time. They just can't. It's an impossible task.
Yes.
And so often we grow up as adults and we bring that into our adult relationships where we feel heard, misunderstood,
Mm-hmm.
those kinds of things because and then we look for that in our adult relationships. We want our
Yes.
partner, our soulmate to validate us and understand exactly how we feel all the time. And
Yes.
that also is a bit of an impossible task.
Exactly.
But the one tool that we have that is very powerful is we can always validate and hear ourselves. And even in the moment that you say, well, I am feeling so angry that that person spoke to me in that way, rather than saying I shouldn't be, maybe it's me, is it me, is it them, is it, getting into all of that second guessing
Yes.
ourselves, doubting ourselves. If we can just say, it's okay that
Mm.
I feel this way, we can always validate ourselves. And
Ourselves.
the
Wow.
most powerful tool. So even when triggers come from our past,
Mm-hmm.
even if you say to yourself, oh yes, I would have felt sad in that moment when mum ignored me. I would have felt sad. That's very healing, because we know when we're in our current day life and we're with our friends or a professional and they validate our feelings, just takes all the pressure out. It feels so good. And it's very good to work with, I believe, professionals in the early stages of your personal development journey to really give you lots of skills and ideas and to help you on your journey. But there's so much you can do yourself. And you might still need to go back to get support and professional
Right.
support when you need it at any time of your life. That's always there and always available. But validating yourself is one of the most powerful tools, because often we go, oh, I shouldn't, as you say, I shouldn't feel that way. Oh, don't be silly. I'm being silly. But if we just validate it, it takes all the emotion out of it, all that energy out of it, and we feel heard and we can do it for ourselves. Yeah.
Exactly.
Even sometimes in my family, if they say to me, why are you getting upset about that? And I go, well, I don't feel that way for no reason. It's so empowering. And also, too, what I've learned that anger
Mm-hmm.
is a very powerful emotion if it's very present, because
Yes.
it lets you know that somebody's overstepping your
Even your
boundary.
boundaries.
Yeah. So you don't, maybe if you feel, you don't just feel angry for no reason. And
Exactly.
I'm not talking about taking out unresolved issues out on other people. That's a different story in
Right.
itself. That might mean you need to get some help and support to heal that unresolved issue.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a present day thing and somebody's overstepping a boundary and you feel angry, but it's good to also be able to communicate to, I don't feel that way for no reason, and I'd like to talk about it in the future. I need that to be done for me, because that's really important for me. And I'm a human being and I'm valuable too, just as
Yes.
we respect other people and we respect their boundaries. It's got to be that beautiful, equal flow in
I
life.
agree. I love it. And I also say that too, sometimes even you feel angry as well because it tells you of an area that you may be passionate about and where you
Mm,
can also bring about change. That would be the anger
mm,
you feel
I
about
love that.
injustices, that you feel about, um, how people have to spend so much money on eggs, whatever that looks like.
Yes,
A lot of
yes.
time that's a signal in the direction that you may have a solution deep down inside of you.
I
Not
love
just to
that.
lash out,
Yeah,
purpose
that's
is
right.
in
It's a
it.
passion. That's
Yeah,
right. There's
purpose is in it.
causes. Yeah, I love that, because we are all connected and it's not right to just turn a blind eye to the
Yes,
things that are unjust where we could possibly make a difference. If we could, yeah, that's right. I love
exactly.
that. And having that voice. Yeah, not being
Exactly.
just a bystander. I
If
love
you're
that.
not, if I know love is, they say love is the most powerful force, but I also believe that anger is also another high level passionate, like you said, and we underestimate the significance of its presence in our life, and we miss the opportunity only because we're constantly given the idea to, when you feel it, it's a bad feeling, it's a bad emotion.
That's it.
But feelings and emotions are just what they are. And
That's it.
and
Yeah, that's so true.
yeah, I love that. So accessible and so practical. Now let's talk a little bit about connection between mindset and emotions. Let's dive into that. You opened us with sharing about that. We hear the phrase emotional intelligence. Like I said, it's often, but take us a little bit further and how you can share. I'd love to hear how you can share how emotional alignment really does bring a sense of clarity and success. Because here we talk about mindset is the key to your success, but I love the link between emotional alignment, mindset, clarity, and success that you talk about in your work.
Yes. Well, we can all probably relate to if we're happy or something's good is happening to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's often to feel quite clear, or if we're seeing a beautiful scene before us, we're not probably thinking too much. We're sort of in our body and we're really immersed in that beauty. Our mind is clear and we're just open, we're feeling, we're being. But when our mind is in control, our mind is can be very powerful, and it's usually our patterns and the way we think, our perspectives, our attitudes have built up over years and years and years. But a lot of those maybe don't serve us. That's when we start to feel we're not aligned, our mind's not clear, we're not really tuned into our body. The way I see it is our body is 8 heads high, a head times 8, usually speaking. So when we're just in our mind, we're only using an eighth of our power, that much. Whereas if we're tuned into our whole body, we're feeling, we're sensing, we're using our intuition, our heart's open, the heart is so powerful. It's in Chinese medicine, it's the emperor of the body. We're getting lots of messages about what feels good for us, what feels right for us, what decision to make, what path to take.
Yeah.
Then we're tapped into our whole body. It's so powerful. Like everybody on the planet is probably far more powerful than they think, because we're trained to be sort of in our head analysing, and this all does have its place, of course, but rationalising things, trying to work it out, trying to work out another person, trying to work out ourselves. Whereas if we just tend to let go and tune into our body's wisdom, we have all the answers, the things that we need to know. We know how to connect. These are very natural skills for us. But little kids in groups, they play together, and yes, they have their little fights and things, but it's very different. They don't hold on to grudges for months or years as adults tend to do. We're much more open and we're freer. Yeah. So as an adult, though, it is possible to get these skills back. And you talked about some ways in which to do that, because the clearer our mind is and the more we're just in our natural breathing state, we're just breathing, we're addressing things as they come up along. Not saying that, of course, we do have to plan. If there's somebody's big birthday party, of course we have to plan for that. But that all is in a more natural flow of a way, rather than being stressed about it and being open to opportunities. So to get into that state, it usually does take, I believe, good habits to support you, because when we go out into the world every day, anything can happen. The phone call we didn't expect, somebody we love, we might learn that they're not feeling well. There could be a financial crash. There could be all these external things. There could be an earthquake, things that create a lot of stress for people. We don't know what's going to happen. All we can do is live our best in every single moment. Just be our best in every single moment. And being grateful, I think, is a really big part of that. When we're grateful, we're not stressing and obsessing about what happened in the past or worrying about what's going to happen in the future, because it's impossible to be unhappy and grateful at the same time. So when we're practicing gratitude, that's just something. If I'm feeling really down, one of my absolute best tools is just to go, I'm so grateful I've got a chair to sit on. I'm so grateful I've got feet. And everybody can find something to be grateful for. I'm so grateful I can breathe. I can connect to this big, beautiful planet that's all around us just through my breath. So training ourselves to get out of our head, because we've often been conditioned to think through our academic system, to analyse, to worry. We've often picked up patterns from our, again, well-meaning guardians and parents, often if people come from parents who suffered from severe depression, kids will just pick that up by osmosis. They'll pick up anxiety if that was from their family of origin. But these are things we can turn around. But from my experience, the best way to do this is by setting yourself up in the morning to have the day ahead, to be able to, so you go out into the day with your cup full rather than half empty. Because if we don't work with our mind, I wouldn't say take control of it, but if we don't work with it and make a friend, it will control us, and we end up in all sorts of situations unconsciously that we don't want to do, or we don't want to face, or we don't even have the skills to face. But if we set our day up by practicing a meditation in the morning, I'm big on education. If people can learn, even if it's just for 10 minutes a day, if they want to have better relationships, and if over a month, every single day for 10 minutes, you learn something about creating a good relationship, over the space of a year, and this is based on the James Clear Atomic Habits, you will grow by 38 times. If you're just improving by a little, 37 times, I think it is. So you're just improving a little bit every day, and then exercise. Your body loves to move. It absolutely loves it. So meditation is so beautiful. It gives the awareness about yourself, where you are, how you're feeling right now, the ability to make shifts and changes, to really know the truth about you and who you are as a person. And then, which is always beautiful and divine for everybody, but really tapping into that. And then some education in an area you might be struggling in, or you might even just want to improve in and be really good at that. Like a lot of people in the world are not aligned in their career. So they're doing work that they hate, and that impacts all other areas of their life. And I say to people, because I'm a realist too, it might not be possible just to swap careers if you've got responsibilities and a family, but there's little things you can do. You could start maybe taking a course at TAFE, or you can just start over time making a plan for yourself to, well, find out what it is you really love to do and what gives you joy and where you can share your skills and talents, and then over time make a plan to transition into something you do really love to do, because that's a really fantastic gift that you can give yourself that will change everything over time. And so exercise too, if we're processing something or something's not sitting quite right with us, I exercise in two ways. I do a little, just 10 minutes can make a huge difference. So I get up every morning and do my little exercise routine, my sit-ups, my push-ups, this and that. But just by doing it for 10 minutes a day, by the end of the week, I've done 230 push-ups and 230 sit-ups, but I didn't make it big and overwhelming and something that I couldn't fit into my already busy day. And then I go for a walk. I've got a beautiful dog. I go for a walk with my dog, and I was lucky enough to go to Peru years ago with Wayne Dyer and his family. It was a beautiful tour to Peru, and we did all these beautiful spiritual practices, and part of it was we had these gorgeous Peruvian guides, and they'd walk on the hills of Machu Picchu, and it was like their feet were just kissing the earth. Like every footstep was so mindful, which is so different to how many of us operate on a daily basis. We're rushing to get to the car, to get to where we need to be, to run up to that appointment. We're not thinking, we're not grounded. So when I take my dog for a walk, I will, not always, but, I will try to walk in a mindful way, or I will definitely do it for part of the walk where I'm just walking and breathing. My feet are really, really consciously touching the earth. I'm thinking about my beautiful footsteps, how good that feels, and how lucky we are to be connected to the earth. And I try not to be thinking about things of the day ahead. And often if I've got a big question or something that I need to solve, I'll ask myself the question at the beginning of the walk, and by the end of it, the answer will usually just come up. Or what I've been struggling with has been processed. So there's a lot you can do by holding that very loving space for yourself.
Right.
And doing that also trains your mind to not be thinking through all of that. So when you are sitting with other people and they're sharing with you, you're not there judging them about this and that or what they've said. You're just being with them. It's very powerful. And then you might get insights, they might get insights. So the reason I do that on my daily walk, I do a daily meditation, because that's training my mind every day to hold that clear space, to be in my body when I'm out in my daily life. And it's amazing how you can just know things or see things or say the right thing at the right time. It's very powerful. But I would say my concepts are simple. They are simple, but they're not easy to do. So I always encourage people to try it. And if they fall off or they make a mistake or they react, to be really kind to yourself, because at least you're aware of that whole, they call it like it's a loop process. You're aware of what you reacted, but you're not reacting unconsciously. You can see yourself reacting.
Yeah.
And the next time you do it, you'll probably be a little bit better, the next time a bit better, and the next time you might not even react at all. So I'm saying it's a process. Athletes do not get fit in one day.
Exactly.
So we've got to say, well, mindset mastery is so important, but it's those daily habits. Yes. So what we do at Blisspot is we help people with the 8 challenges that people commonly face, and they're things. They are low energy, financial well-being, career crisis, physical health is a big issue for many people, physical relationships, stress and overwhelm, which is the mindset mastery, of course, and fear of the future, which really presents as anxiety. And the last one is feeling alone and disconnected. A lot of people really feel alone and disconnected. So we share skills. We do a little morning routine. They just choose something that they'd like to work on. So say it's feeling alone and disconnected. Over the next 28 days, they'll get a beautiful meditation around that. They'll get some education to give them the skills to transform in that way, an exercise program, because movement's really important. And at the end of the day, they're reminded to practice gratitude. Just think of 3 things they're grateful for, and a beautiful sleep meditation to help rest and restore and get up the next day feeling really refreshed. Sleep is really important. So that's just an example of how we've put, I guess, all those concepts together. People could go out and do it themselves for sure, but people have just very time poor these days. Sometimes when they're overwhelmed or stressed or wanting to learn how to be more in control of their mind and their emotions, they don't know where to begin. We get that quite often. So that's why we present it all with experts works from all over the world, beautiful people that are at the top of their profession in all those different areas, sharing gorgeous online content to really help people feel connected to themselves, the inner world, because that's something that we can change and have control over.
We have control.
And then it flows out from ourself. It flows out to our families, our communities, our nations. And then I think overall it will have a really big impact on the world, because so many people are doing this beautiful work all over the world now. It's beautiful.
Oh, that is awesome. So is Blisspot, do individuals stay in a particular location, or it's they come in, or you do virtual, and then they're able to get these empowering tools that they
sorry to interrupt. Yeah, so what we do is we serve all the content digitally, because we want to help. Our mission is to help as many people on the planet as we can with their well-being. So they get once they choose what they want to do every single day, their 28-day programs, they get the content sent to their phone. So they just have to push a link and then it gets served to them. The meditation, the exercise, and the education, and nightly as well. So the program gets served to their phone. It's there for them when they wake up. They just have to wake up, push a button. Oh, this is really important, because those first 15 minutes when you wake up in the day, your mind has processed a lot of the previous day through sleep. So it's usually very clear. I heard it explained to me once. It's like the Titanic. Before the ship gets going, the big, big engines, it takes a while for the momentum to happen, and then they're working at full speed. The same for your mind. So when you wake up in the morning, you're usually very clear. And so we recommend to people that they just sit up straight away and do that, or they can lay in bed and listen to it. It's on their phone. They can listen to it through their headphones, and they are then setting a line in the sand and saying, this is the way I'm going to be for the day. I'm going to go out. I've taken control of my mind from the moment I've woken up virtually, and then they can just build on that energy. And if things happen during the day that are going to take them by surprise or take them off their center, they've got the skills. They're in a better state to get back to maybe just breathe, think about it. If it's a big trigger, maybe do a little meditation, see what's happening to create that. But if we set our day up right from the beginning, when we've got that very special 15-minute window of opportunity to say how we'd like the day to be, it can be very empowering.
Wow. That is awesome to know that it is available to all of us listening. And we're going to share more with you about how you can be a part of Blisspot. But Deborah, before we go into Mindset Bites to Go, I love to ask our guests the definition of success. You've accomplished so much. What is success to you now?
Oh, I love that question. It's funny you should ask that because I've just been thinking about it. Success, when I was younger, I think in the society that we live in, we're trained to think that success is having it all, the big house, the perfect relationship, great family, perfect job. But I don't define success like that anymore. I feel that it's good to follow your dreams and to be of service and to use your gifts and talents to help other people as much as you possibly can. But like I said, I've been through many challenging times, and to me, the success was getting through the challenges in the best way that I could. Like, I believe that life can make you bitter because it will give you lessons all the time, or it can make you better. And I'd like to think that through all of my personal challenges that I've tried to, not always perfectly, and with hindsight, we could always do things a bit differently or a bit better. But for at the time, with the skills that I had, I feel that I got through it in the best way that I possibly could. And I continue to grow and evolve and be open. And I think that's success as well. It's how did you... it's very easy for people to be a great person when they're happy and everything's going well. But how did you respond when you really were feeling under pressure? Did you take the high road even when you didn't really feel like it? And that's not talking about being true to your feelings. Of course, you're still true to your feelings, but it's making those conscious... I think success is about being able to make conscious choices, which is where the mindset mastery really comes into play. Where you're able to make that choice and look back and you feel proud of it when you made a good choice. I think that's success, to me.
Oh, I love that. Deborah, you have given us so much wisdom. But before we go, it's Mindset Bites to Go. I'd love for you to speak directly to the audience. This is a segment where if they remember you for one thing, if this was your last time to speak to the world, we give you 90 to 120 seconds to speak into the camera with me off camera, off microphone. What key message you want to leave with them today? So I'm going to mute myself and come off camera, and it will be all yours. Here we go.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you, Dr. Alisa. I would like to share the message that from my own personal struggles, I've realized that you have everything within you to get through your personal struggles, no matter how bad they may seem. But it takes realizing that you're not alone. If you need the support, reach out for it and get it, because we are all connected. Reach out to those that you trust or you resonate with. Do that mindfully. You will know intuitively who to reach out to if you need it. As I say, we are all connected and we're here to help and support each other on our journey. But then also keep developing your own skills and abilities in terms of mindfulness and emotional mastery, and that will impact your behaviors. And it is totally possible for change. Anybody can change, but the ingredients we need are courage. Sometimes it takes courage to look at ourselves, work through those feelings that we might find difficult or challenging if we're not used to it, such as anger, fear, disappointment, and hurt. But when we have the courage to do that, it expands the way we can be in the world. We can experience more joy, more happiness, more connection by really being honest with ourselves, looking deep inside, knowing what's there, being able to choose our responses over time, and then being able to tap into the true beauty of life that is all around us all the time when we look for it and we choose to connect to it.
Phenomenal. I'm so powerful again. Wow. Thank you so much, Deborah. And for those who want to go further with you and your work, tell us how to stay connected and what's available right now through Blisspot.
Oh, that's lovely. And I have a special offer for your audience as well today.
Yes.
So just because I know there's such a like-minded group, and so I wanted to leave everybody with a gift. Firstly, you could go to blisspot.com, and that's spelled BLISSPOT.com, and you can join up as a free member there. We have loads of free resources. We have a vision board, a gratitude journal. You can set goals, get resources to help you achieve those goals, and to move through your challenges. To move through your challenges, they are paid programs, but today I'm offering a $50 off discount. So normally it's $97 a month, but people can access that for $47 a month by just using the code BLISSGIFT at the checkout.
Wow. So you have to be listening to hear this, because we're not going to put the code in the description.
Okay, great. So
if you want me to,
no, you can. I'd love people that you help. I'd love to support as well. So
that is awesome.
Yeah. And that gets you a fully curated program to your phone every night and morning to help you on your personal growth journey of transformation. And also, too, we do have a free quiz that we offer. It's called How Powerful Are You? And it just gives you, it's fun. And it's about tapping into your superpowers and where your blind spot is and where your bliss spot is, all those kinds of things. It's very simple, only takes 30 seconds. So I'll share the link with that as well, so that people can explore that
here for you. If you're listening, all of this is definitely in the description for you. Oh my goodness. I didn't have the code, so I didn't know, but I'm excited to have it. And I'm looking forward to having it. So, oh my goodness, you all heard it. Everyone listening, I highly encourage you to join Blisspot for free, and then take the next step and use the 50% coupon. You'll get access to your own personalized well-being dashboard, gratitude journal, vision board, and more. And don't forget to take the quiz. There's a men's quiz and a women's quiz. All these little tools. You all know that, listen to me, mindset mastery is not just listening. It's taking action. But more than anything, because the work is continuous, you need to build that toolbox. And Deborah has come with her hands filled with tools for your journey. So don't miss out on that. Deborah, thank you so much for being with us on Mindset Mastery Moments. Your wisdom, your gifts, your insights. I know this conversation is going to impact so many lives around the world.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Alisa. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here and talk with you. An absolute honor. I've enjoyed every moment. And yes I feel very grateful.
and I am looking forward to having you again. So it's
That'd
not
be
a one and done. You're welcome to the tribe. So anytime you feel the nudge, to shoot me and a text or a message and say, hey, I'd love to get on and talk about this. I've got something else I want to add, because we can never cover it all. But I love sharing this space with as many thought leaders and just individuals who are just serving and making a difference. So thank you for being here again.
You're most welcome. Thank you, Dr. Alisa. And it's an incredible offering that you have created for the world as well.
Thank you so much. Exactly. And so to everyone tuning in, remember, this resilience is not about never falling. It's about how you rise and the mindset you choose when you do. This is Dr. Alisa Whyte reminding you to make the shift now, and as always, keep mastering your emotional intelligence right along with your mindset. Until next time, stay resilient, stay focused, stay unapologetically powerful. This is Dr. Alisa and my beautiful co-host today, Deborah Tyson, saying see you later.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.